Hello, YouTube. Second video of the day. It's your boy GZTV here, back with another video. Sorry if there's a little glare here in the studio, tried to improve the lighting there. But we're here. We have Black Mirror. We have the third episode of Season 3. Pretty interesting stuff here. Pretty crazy stipulations kind of going down before our eyes with this one. Black Mirror... Sorry, I gotta get my phone charger. Black Mirror just continues to kind of push the envelope for what their series can really do. And yeah, the show isn't really in order, but I like to watch it in order just so I can see the evolution of the show, like the production value going up. As it, it gains more popularity and people start to like it more. So let's get into it. Plot, critic reception. You guys know how this goes. So Kenny, played by Alex Lothar, returns home from his restaurant job to find that his sister Lindsay, played by Maya Gerber, has unintentionally infected his laptop with malware. You guys know how viruses go, They can hack you, wipe your shit, take your information. Obviously, technology is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Cyber threats are very dangerous nowadays, and obviously that wasn't a problem before technology, but Black Mirror, the kind of the theme of the show as you're watching it is like the benefits and the problems with technology, and how ultimately technology can really fuck someone up, kind of ruin someone. There's obviously a lot of extremities that the show uses, but a lot of crazy, hypothetical situations, but still, these things could very well happen. He downloads an anti-malware Trojan, allowing unseen hackers to record him masturbating through his webcam. So it's like malware wipe thing turns out to just be more viruses and a way for people to hack into his computer and use his camera. Sorry if I cough a lot. I don't know. They email the teenager threatening to leak the footage if he refuses to comply. So now at this point it's just he's listening to exactly what they have to say. He has to do exactly what they have to say. So at work, Kenny reaches a text summoning him to a location 15 miles away in 45 minutes. So it's pretty much like a chase. They got to get to places in time, and there's a couple situations in this episode where he has to kind of get somewhere in a certain amount of time, deliver a package, a lot of weird rules, a lot of crazy things that ultimately in the end just lead to nothing. And this episode is a troll. You guys see the thumbnail there. It's a troll. He does all this shit for what? We'll find out kind of how the ending goes here in a little bit. Feigning illness to leave, he frantically cycles there and is met by another blackmail victim. I didn't know this at first, but once it boils down to the end, all these people that are kind of working with this company and everyone's kind of intertwined together. This guy's played by Ivana Jeremiah, who passes Kenny a box containing a cake. Ordered to deliver the cake to a hotel room, Kenny meets Hector, played by Jerome Flynn, whom the hackers also contact. So pretty much any person that Kenny has interacted with in this episode so far, besides his coworkers and his family, they're part of the hacking group. They're not a part of the hacking group, but they were pretty much deployed by the hacking group because of things they did in their past life. And this show kind of plays on cancel culture with this episode here. He had arranged to commit adultery with a prostitute and fears he will lose custody of his children if his wife Penny, played by Leanne Best, finds out. Everyone kind of has dirt on their names, so yeah, people just have to kind of do what they're asked here. The two are told to drive to a set of coordinates, stopping for patrol for gas, obviously. They run out of gas along the way. They gave them it on completely empty, and maybe this was a test by the company to see if they could get shit done in time. They meet Karen, played by Natasha Little, a friend of Hector's wife, who requests a lift home. So they pretty much have to take a complete detour, and yeah. Because they're not going to say no. They're nice people, Hector drives recklessly to get her there before continuing to their destination. Obviously, she's very concerned as she's riding in the car with them. Tasked with using a gun concealed in the cake to rob a bank, Hector insists on being the driver, leaving Kenny to perform the robbery. Kenny can't legally drive or something, so Hector's like, well, I'm the only one here that can drive, so it looks like you're gonna have to do the robbery. So obviously Kenny's never robbed a bank before. He's pretty much a goody two shoes, kind of a little wimp character. That's kind of what the show's setting him up to be. Despite urinating in his panic, he steals a bag of cash and flees the scene with Hector. So yeah, fucking pisses his pants while he's sitting here robbing a bank, shaking his gun like, just give me money. Uh, the actor was great in this episode, by the way. I mean, the acting overall by all the characters was pretty good. Hector is instructed to destroy the car while Kenny takes the money to a drop site in a forest. He meets another victim, played by Paul Baisley, who explains they are to fight to the death whilst being filmed through a drone. The winner earns the money and fucking lives too, of course. I mean, at what fucking cost, man? This man Kenny just robbed a bank. Now he has to fight a guy for the money. Like, he's had to do all this shit, and at the end, it's not going to mean anything. They did all this pretty much for nothing, so, yeah. So when Kenny protests that he was merely masturbating the photos, his opponent asks how young the subjects were, revealing that he is a pedophile and implying Kenny is too. And the problem wasn't that he was just masturbating, like jacking off. It's that these were underage people, and there was porn sites pretty much testing him, made by this hacker company, and there were a bunch of underage women apparently. It's just a crazy situation to put yourself in. I mean, there's a lot of pedophilia. There's a lot of controversy going around. People of underage, having sex and kind of engaging in sexual activity, and that's kind of what this show kind of touches on here. Kenny attempts suicide, but discovers the gun from earlier is empty and the two fight. So, yeah, if he was tested once, he would not have been able to get out of this situation. Like, he wouldn't have been able to rob a bank if someone were to, rush him or something, because the gun's fucking empty. Arriving home, Hector is texted a troll face, learning the blackmailers have disclosed evidence of his infidelity to Penny. Regardless, and that's kind of what he comes home to. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're fucked. They still give out your information, despite what you did. The other's information is also released. A shell-shocked Kenny staggers from the woods injured. His mother, Camilla Powers, phones him, shocked that Lindsay and her friends have seen the video of him looking at kids, and oh my god, it's fucked. As she begs Kenny to tell her none of it is true, he hangs up, receiving a troll-face image as police arrive and apprehend him. Because, I don't know, it's a pretty unusual situation that's going on in this forest, and I'm pretty sure it was private property or something, so... Yeah, very interesting stuff. I have a lot to say about this episode, so this might be a pretty long review. It's pretty solid. I mean, terrifically tense and twisty. Shut Up and Dance is well-paced and incredibly unsettling, leaving viewers stunned and with a greater distaste for humanity than normally evoked from an average episode of Black Mirror. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people liked it. I mean, the themes were interesting. I don't know how I felt about them. The story was no deeper than one where bad people do bad things and they get punished for it, but and it's redundant to Series 2 episode White Bear, saying that there was no clear message or moment of redemption to take away from it. I mean, they kind of just end it in a mysterious way. Yeah, it does remind you of White Bear a little bit, doesn't it? The episode's themes were pretty good, though. I mean, its willingness to force moral questions that make everyone feel awful. I feel like in that way it's good. There are definitely some meh moments about it. Alex Lothar was pretty good as Kenny there. One of the best things, one of the best things in that show. It's the real standout of the episode. I mean, he is superb in the main role. His portrayal of adolescent desperation was fantastic. His depiction of Kenny was quivering, desperate, heartbreaking. Lawler's incredible, vulnerable performance made me kind of sympathize with his terror, which was kind of crucial to the twist and really important at the end of the day. Jerome Flynn was great. I mean, his character's suitably sleazy without ever being kind of like a caricature in a way. Yeah, Jerome Flynn was awesome. His coiled anger was great. I mean, the character's gruff and to the point. Furious had his total helplessness. He's like a manly man. He's very masculine compared to, what's his name? I can't even remember the other kid's name. I just said it. Kenny. Sorry. Flynn's unsettling contrast between gruffness and utilitarian friendliness was awesome. I mean, the deliciously horrible details of Flynn's performance sell you on his character's predicament in a snap. Though Flynn does a fine job, it's not necessarily a showcase for him, I guess. The tone of the episode, was that effective? I don't know. I guess we could talk about that for a little bit. It was remarkably heart-pounding. It was fantastically tense. maybe too much of an endurance test. I don't know. There was not much suspense, I guess. I mean, the robbing the bank, you kind of knew it was going to happen. Like, you knew he was going to be able to rob a bank if he had a gun in his hand. There wasn't really any stakes there. A mounting sense of anxiety as Kenny's helplessness as the puppet to anonymous sociopaths is palpable. The tension was a little frustrating at times. I mean, the episode is never boring, but it's not extremely engaging. I mean, I didn't really take my face off the screen, but still, there were some moments that could have been a little better. The episode's aesthetics are chilly and claustrophobic. The queasiness up to the twist is well orchestrated. The ending's not great, though, I will say. I wasn't a big fan of the ending. The episode is blackly funny. The scenes involving Hector's wife's friend Karen contain some of the darkest humor of the entire show. I mean, the twist ending in which Kenny's a pedophile was interesting. I mean, it's not quite powerful enough to make up for everything that came before it. It doesn't hit that hard. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that. It's a huge gut punch. It also removes any anchor for investment in any of these characters. Demonstrated that the episode is more interested in turning gadgets into weapons of maximum humiliation than in saying anything more interesting about how digital humiliation works. The episode's ending kind of captures the bleak mood of the piece and the inescapable claustrophobia of these people's situations. You can't get away from, this kind of teaches you a life lesson that, hey, you can't get away from what you post on the internet. The directing was pretty good. The tension was pretty nice. Watkins keeps his camera on its feet in Hungary during moments of tension and Kenny's chase sequences. I don't know. Not really sure what else to say. I'm out, though. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Not really much of an outro. I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I think it was pretty solid. Maybe not the best in the series.